Laurie Huston's News for the Heart is dedicated to helping you give a voice to your own soul. Our hearts have the power to free us from pain and the struggles that keep us from awakening to our true essence. Join Laurie now as we delve into our heart and soul to find the path that will open us to the possibilities and lead us to the life we love to live.
And good afternoon. This is News for the Heart. And well, it is the second Tuesday of the month, which, could you believe this is already December? We're almost at the end of the year and it's like, what? Okay. But it means that I have my awesome co-host, Tracy McBurney, with me. And we are it's going to be an interesting show. We're going to start off with communication and boundaries and see where it goes, because I had ridiculous things happening last month with communication and with Wi-Fi and my computer. And it ended up being something so ridiculous that, of course, our internet provider couldn't find it. And it was another IT from another complete different place that was able to get into their back end and go, wait a minute, this isn't right. Anyway, it was one of those situations. And now everything seems really, really stable. But we both sort of had it. So welcome to the show, Tracy.
Thank you. And I had my communication big issues end of August, September, and through October.
Right.
So I guess I got my break in November.
With the other internet provider.
With the other internet provider. Or we're not allowed to name names. Is that true?
No, it wasn't that. It was funny.
We can't name names and take prisoners?
Yeah, I think we should definitely take prisoners. The two most despicable companies in Canada, Bell and Rogers, but whatever. They're supposed to be the best, right? Yeah, they give the worst service.
And we're so dependent on both.
Unfortunately, yes. All right. So where do we want to start with this?
Well, what I said to you about your particular communication issue, I thought was a pretty interesting thing to say. So you said when it finally got sorted out or whatever, you just said something about, when somebody was figuring something out, they saw this anchor not attached to blah, blah, blah. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. So what did they see?
What did they see when they finally?
What did they see when they finally found it? They said some anchor, something. You used words.
Yeah, there was actually two different accounts somehow connected to the same. And so there were two different IP addresses that was totally confusing the modem, because you're only supposed to have one. And when the modem was actually off while they were doing stuff, I looking at my phone and going, I really should ask what this other IP address, because it says Park House. Both of them are Park House. And then the other one had Park House EXT. And I'm like, what is this? And I knew that they'd done, they'd have maybe had guests or whatever. But anyway, I think the two IP addresses have been around for a really long time, because they said apparently back in 2012, they used to have they used to use the suite that I'm in as an Airbnb. So I think it's been around since then. And then when they were getting really poor service with Rogers, they then turned to Bell. But Bell wouldn't help them at all. They never got service with Bell. And when they asked if they could work on it, Bell said, yeah, we'll send out a technician, but you're going to have to pay for it. And they said, okay, we're done. We're done with Bell. So then they went back to Rogers. But when I first moved there, the communication problem was the fact that a squirrel had chewed through the wires. But they still didn't find the actual problem, which was that there were two IP addresses. And then because I was by myself, I was trying to figure out what to do. And I actually used Gemini AI, which was fun, but I've now genderized her. She's now a her. And she was telling me that the handshake between my laptop, which had a better than average adapter. It's for Wi-Fi 7, and we don't even have Wi-Fi 7 yet. But it was like, well, in a couple of years, when we update to Wi-Fi 7, your computer will still be legit. But so she was saying that there was something with that was interfering, because I couldn't even get on my own website. Then I went to GoDaddy because I thought I'll go through their back door. I couldn't get to GoDaddy. Then I thought, oh my goodness, there's something wrong with my laptop. So I better go to Dell and, see if there's any downloads or, something that I'm missing. And I couldn't get to Dell. And I'm like, okay, now something's really messing me up. And I couldn't do Spreaker, which is where I go to do my audio. So it was really funny because I had to then toggle between cell and Wi-Fi data because YouTube worked, thankfully, because if I had to upload a YouTube video on my cell data, it probably would have taken 2 days. But yeah, crazy.
So you said to me that this Gemini AI girl blah said the handshake between your computer and what?
And the Wi-Fi, like somewhere there was a disconnect, somewhere the handshake wasn't happening.
Okay. So I say thank you to the AI. So this is what I said to you. I said, my experience with all of this is that we've created this drama outside of ourselves, sometimes for several reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, that you have something going on with you physically, like something that's bothering you physically. So do you have something that's bothering you physically, that's maybe been bothering you physically for more than even a month, that's been hanging around, that you haven't been able to work out, that you haven't been able to figure out? Is there anything?
Well, motivation. Motivation is a little low. I would say there is definitely there's been a few things I would comment on that. If it was going to go on the communication route, I would go a different direction. But if I were going to go physically,
yeah,
I would say I just have been feeling kind of weak. Maybe that's the word. Like some days it's a real drag to get me to get out of the house. I'll do it if I have something that I have to do, and then that's my motivation. But if I don't have something that I have to do, and I'll get up and, I'll go feed the cats or whatever, and I'll feel kind of like a little weak. And so, yeah, there's
weak is a little more different. Like it's different than exhausted.
Right. Well, I wasn't necessarily exhausted.
Right. So weakened. So then I'm asking, if that the Gemini AI points out with the handshake between the computer and the Wi-Fi.
Or the internet provider, but yeah.
The internet provider. So the handshake between those two is not operating. It's not connecting.
Right.
Right. So then I asked, is this that this AI found in any way, if we talk about the context of it, an important thing for you to pay some attention to with regard to this issue of weakness within you? And that's it. Like, the vocabulary, the handshake, the lack of a handshake, what body talk would say, hey, this part's not talking to this part.
Right.
Right. And so I get a yes.
Yeah.
I get a yes. Okay, then. So in this particular instance, we can demonize these people. We could, but maybe we created this.
Right.
Because we needed a piece of information. We needed absolutely something sorted out in that physical relationship between the Wi-Fi, the house, blah, 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 you, the computer. We needed that. You needed that.
Right.
But the actual terminology, the actual understanding that this AI lands for you, you also needed for yourself.
Right. Right.
You needed to recognize that something similar was going on within you. So this became the extension, this became the circumstance that you put yourself in to be able to get frustrated enough that now you're looking for answers.
Right.
Now, and you're going to get those answers outside of yourself that you're not able to get, or that you're not taking the time to get inside of yourself.
Right.
And somebody's giving you a little bit of vocabulary.
Right.
So I like to get that, to kind of go, okay, thank you for that. Recognizing that our body operates quite a lot like a computer. And Dr. Art Martin was the very first person to put that in my consciousness. the idea that our bodies actually are like this unbelievable, like computer system.
Right.
With consciousness.
Yes.
Right. And so I thought that was a kind of cool thing to say to you, and that we could know that, and that maybe we could maybe then say yes to something or allow for something to be repaired within you that this whole event is showing you.
Right.
Another way that I see these big corporations that drive us crazy, like Bell and Rogers and TELUS or whatever, all these, especially these telecommunication companies, especially those, and especially the government, these organizations that just drive us crazy, then, or traffic. It is an outlet for our anger and frustration. Like if we're getting so internally angry about whatever it is, angry about the job that we're not getting, angry about what's going on and with the family dynamic or whatever, and it's just pooling inside of us. And we need an outlet for that. And we're not actually exercising. We're not actually going out to the gym or actually walking around the block or pounding a bag. Then this is an outlet for that anger and frustration. And then, of course, they'll put the thing right on the screen or right on the phone call saying, treat these people respectfully.
Right.
You're not allowed to get angry at them. So really, it's quite interesting these days because it doesn't become the outlet for the anger and the frustration that it used to be.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So in this particular instance, it feels like maybe it's a little of both.
Right.
But it definitely is the first one, which is, this AI gives you a little piece of information here. So then we sit there and go, well, if we think about ourselves in our own bodies, and we think about our bodies as the computer, and we're hearing that there's a handshake problem between our computer and the Wi-Fi, and we're going, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Is that the universe? Like, is that the universe? Is there a handshake issue problem between the Wi-Fi, the connection? Is this talking about what NES called the drivers? Is there a driver issue that you're actually having that you don't even know that you're having? And it was the NES Health organization that literally brought that to my attention, the concept that these organs and that we have, and so I'm now going right into my notes because I don't have them all memorized, but I am getting a yes for that.
Yeah,
so
I got one too.
Sorry, what?
I got one too when you said it. It's like, oh.
Right, well, and so they coined it as drivers.
Right.
And so there are 16 drivers that they are speaking of. So are they correct that there's only 16? Is there more than 16? 16 is what they have itemized, what they have discovered, what they are telling us about.
Right.
And one of them, the first one that comes that goes, pooh, I wonder, because I thought I'm just going to check it to see if it even exists, is muscle driver.
Ah. Interesting.
Right. Now, I don't know what puts these drivers off. I can give you some understanding. I think drivers can get put offline from toxins. I think drivers can get put offline from trauma. Mm-hmm. I think drivers can get put offline by, deaths of people that we really love or things that have really disturbed us, like really, really, really just deeply disturbed us.
Right.
Whether that's something that we've seen in a movie, even I think a driver can get put offline. So it's almost like this beautiful, circular connection between that organization of cells and communication and the universe. Now, they spoke about that, but when I was sitting there listening to their talk, I thought, well, that's interesting. Drivers to the universe. What about drivers to the cosmos? Would there be drivers to the cosmos in addition to drivers to the universe? I think so. Right? But it's this cyclical, almost like feeding system or organized system, maybe of revitalization, of nourishment, of connectedness communication, continued communication, right? It might actually be one of the reasons why I look at my mom. She's 89 years old, and I think we know shit. Like I think I know lots about being that nutritionist and lots about eating better and lots about supplementation. And yet I look at my mom who has no water habit. She eats like a bird. She is completely sane at 89. She doesn't have any kind of dementia. She doesn't have any kind of, in fact, the only thing that is her complaint is the nervous condition that we have genetically in the family that's creating pain in her legs. Mm. And that's it. And if she didn't have that, there'd be no hardship that my mother would have at 89. Wow. So I'm looking and going, okay. Oh, and she doesn't like vegetables. And right. She's never liked vegetables. So she doesn't have a vegetable habit. She doesn't have a water habit. She eats like a bird. She is a joyful person who's got an amazing personality and a very giving, very loving, very compassionate person. And I'm going, we know nothing.
Right.
Right? Like, where is my mother getting her frequencies from? Where is she getting the things that we think or tell her that she needs? Oh, and she drinks a can of Pepsi every day. And she's done that for, well over 50 years. So no more than a can of Pepsi, or sometimes two, if she's celebrating something and she's already had a can.
Oh, wow.
But it's a can of Pepsi every day. Not diet. She'd never touch a diet drink, but a can of Pepsi.
Huh.
And I'm going, okay. And is this what's going on? This relationship with the drivers that are fortifying something, that are revitalizing something, that are conditioning something, that are communicating with something that is actually, so my mother is actually a living, breathing example of your needs are being met by the universe.
Yeah.
You're getting all the frequencies and all the communications from the universe or from the cosmos that you need, and, go forward and, live a good life. I've often thought that. And when I see that in my mom, I go, what do we know? What do we know? She's there. She's a living, breathing example of the fact that we really don't know anything.
Right.
Because she's here, existing, no dimension, no nothing. Flowing, beautiful, compassionate, lovely person, giving and journeying.
Right.
And I guess maybe with all of her drivers intact. Yeah, so it's interesting. So if I look at this, I say, all right, out of all of the six, first of all, is 16 the number? Yes, so 16 is the number. So out of all of the 16, do you have any drivers that are currently offline with the universe and or the cosmos? And I'm getting a yes to that. So how many drivers do you currently have offline? 1, 2, 3. It's interesting that you're saying that. I'm getting 3.
Okay.
What now, having said that, I'm going to ask that everything be unmasked. So, because we're getting 2 different numbers. So I'm just kind of looking and going, all right, I want to unmask it all. I'm really looking for, what am I looking for? Truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. That's what I want. So I want everything unmasked. So that's supporting the Trudeau, not Trudeau, the Pluto effect, which is, it's interesting that I said that. Right?
Yeah, it is very.
Yeah, it's not interesting. Unmask, unmask, unmask. So if that can be known, then let that be known. And 1, 2, 3, it's 3.
Okay.
So now we're looking for the 3. Is one of them muscle driver and one of them is muscle driver. Source driver, source driver, source driver, source driver, source driver.
Okay, that's interesting.
Imprinter cell driver, source driver. Yeah, source driver. Imprinter cell driver. So is it correct that it's source driver, cell driver, and muscle driver? And the answer is yes, it is. Is that truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God? Yes. Okay. And so we're looking at healing heart. We're coming down to that heart that heals, that heart that knows. And did all three of these drivers go offline at the same time? Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I'm getting a yes.
Oh.
Did all of these well, first of all, let me just make sure. Is there, as we look at ourselves, like if you're in my office,
right,
and we're together, going from the spark of pure love and light that resides within us, we connect to source of that love and light and we give thanks. From this place of oneness, connection, purity of heart, pure love, pure light, love unconditional, and grace. From the I am presence within us, we connect with the I am presence beyond us and all around us. And before we continue, I'm asking if there is, in connection to the two of us, is there anything operating within us, connected to us, force impinging upon us, surrounding us, underground interference, long distance interference, masking, morphing, embedded, enmeshed, entangled. Okay, I'm getting surrounding us. So something surrounding us that is non-beneficial. Is that coming? Is that emanating from me? Is it emanating from you? It's coming from you. So can we then, now that we know this, can we just get this moved with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best divine way, as a safe, appropriate, and highest and best interest? Clearing, clearing, clearing. And clearing in all timelines. That your all-knowing, healing heart, in connection with your own divinity, would be able to recognize, know, and take care of. So that long affirmation that I just gave you, it's kind of the thing that got written over time. That's all about corruption in the government. It's all about, do we have collectively, you and I, any corruption in the government, anything operating within us, connected to us, surrounding us, underground interference, long distance interference, masking, morphing, embedded, enmeshed, implanted, entangled, infecting, deleting, coding. Well, okay, so the only thing that I'm finding is surround. And looking to your healing heart, my healing heart, to take care of that. So that that's cleared from our fields. And as I asked for that, could you feel anything, even subtle things, lift, shift, move, as I asked for that?
For sure.
Okay, that's nice. It's nice it's nice that you have that you can feel subtle energies, that you get your proof of what it is that I've asked. So some people are not necessarily turned on, their dial is not turned on for feeling subtle energies, but they are actually clairvoyant on some level, so they see. They shut their eyes, they kind of see a color change, or they'd see a picture change, or they'd see something that said, oh, something's happening. And then we've got other people that, as far as the clairs are concerned, they're just completely shut down. Right. They don't have an open door in the brain for any of that resource. They don't have an open door in the body. Everything's just shut down, locked up and shut down. And what's interesting is they say now that we're in ascension cycle, that these sorts of things are opening up for people. And I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see clients that have had no ability to do any of this, that are now feeling things at levels that they don't understand and are getting very troubled by it. So it's been interesting to kind of guide them through what it is that they're feeling, where they've never felt that before. So it is nice that you can feel that change and confirm that. Otherwise, it's just like we're sitting here having weird conversations. And kind of scratching our head going, is there any truth to this? Or have we just lost our mind? So it's nice that you can feel the shift.
Right.
Okay. So now as we don't have that, so was that interfering in my world? It was with me, but it wasn't interfering in my world, which meant that I was well boundaried enough that it was not impacting me. It hadn't slithered in to be in a relationship with me. But I like to, when I'm doing this with a client, I like to make it an us experience. Like lots of times I've done the work on myself before I sit with a client. So I feel that I am well boundaried. But I like to make it an us event so that generally the answer, if I ask, is it me, is it them, it'll turn out to be them that has brought that forward, but I don't want them feeling self-conscious. And, every once in a while I get a check at the door. Every once in a while it's like, oh, there is something operating within me. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Interesting how that slipped by, or interesting that I got busy in the morning and didn't do that clearing before I stepped in with a client. So it's, anyway, so we're back with source driver, cell driver, and muscle driver. So is that correct that there are those three? And is there any more? So we have those three. And so if you connect to you and you're just with you, and I say source driver offline, cell driver offline, muscle driver offline, does that feel right to you?
Yes.
And does it feel like there's anything more in drivers that are offline at this particular point in time that need to get looked at?
No, but it's like there's something, maybe this is where I was getting confused, but it's like there's something where the three of them maybe have created a different pathway or a different way of doing something to almost like so that I still have part awareness or conscious. There's something that's like it's like it created its own pathway together, and I don't know what that means, but
yeah, interesting, right?
Right.
So
like when I think of the secret, not the secret, sorry, the what the bleep, where
right.
She was trying, like they were trying to, as we create things, we may create different pathways in our brain or neural pathways in our brain. And it's like it created it so that I could still have something of a connection, but maybe the weakness or the handshake wasn't fully on board. Does that, yeah.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Does any of what you're seeing relate to the energy that was surrounding you? So as you take ownership of it to say, oh, and then I created this, or I had something to do with this, but is that the truth? Or did whatever this was that came in to surround you, maybe
it created the pathway?
Did it then create this twisting and connecting, right? Which means it's almost like hijacking something, except maybe the word isn't hijacking. It's just interfering or disrupting or
blocking
or maintaining with a corrupted,
right?
Right? Maintaining something, but corrupting it at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't feel like you did that.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, my experience with the drivers going offline is that it's something goes on in our world that brings us to that.
Right.
So sometimes I guess it's, the death of somebody, the loss of something, the moving of apartments, perhaps, like, whatever it was, just, whatever the kerfuffle was in any of that. And then what comes in outside of us in our distress to protect us, to help us, to guide us, to, when we lose track of ourselves, when we are just so traumatized or helpless or powerless.
Right.
And I'm just asking if this occurrence happened in some connection with your apartment shift. And I'm getting a yes to that.
That makes sense.
So something coming in when you just went, can't do it,
Right.
helpless, powerless, whatever, just something coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying desperately to control everything. There was nothing, like communication was terrible. Everything was not flowing.
Right.
Right.
So anyway, we're not going to judge it. See, there's my other piece.
Right.
Is I have no desire to judge what we got ourselves involved with when we were desperate,
Right.
when we were helpless, when we were powerless, when we were out of control, when we needed to control, but we couldn't control. Like whatever it is, I have no desire to judge it. And it came in at a point where we were outsourcing the problem.
Right. Right.
We're vulnerable. We had lost boundaries. Our boundaries had weakened. We'd weakened. We'd been weakened by the experience. Our resolve had been weakened. Our faith had been weakened. Our trust had been weakened, whatever. So I have no desire to judge it, but to say thank you. And then to recognize your desire that it be released, that you're now recognizing, hey, you know what? I'm in this weakened state. I didn't know this thing called drivers existed. I didn't source driver, muscle driver, cell driver. I don't even know what these do. I don't know what that, I have no idea. And
Right.
quite honestly, I took an NES Health class and I still don't quite have an idea. So we're just flying by the seat of our pants in the sense that, you know, if there's truth to this, you know, what if this is true? And what if what you're seeing in your vision is these are all entangled now and maybe a little bit connected and not really connected. And it's like, and we just want that restored.
Yes.
We want it combed out and restored. And whatever this energy is that you aligned with one or more to aid you or in desperation help you or to control something or bring you into believing that, you know, this could happen, we're just saying thank you. Thank you, and you are released of your service. And if there were any contracts, agreements, vows, oaths, allegiances, if any of that took hold, then you're surrendering all of that to your healing heart and your connection to your divinity to take care of on your behalf. So they are free to move and be with another, and you are free. And these drivers can now be restored. Detangled. And put beautifully and divinely back online. And if there are drivers to the cosmos as well as drivers to the universe, then we are allowing for all of that to be taken care of. And what does that see like, sense like, as all of that's happening?
Yeah. It's like I feel it all sort of reconnecting, but now I'm sensing more awareness of just how weak I've been feeling. Yeah. It's like, oh, huh.
So my sense of this is that as this is all being put back online, it's going to be like, kind of like blowing you back up like a balloon.
Right.
And you'll have to let me know. So it's interesting to think of our physical body as the computer and the Wi-Fi system as being, in this case, the drivers.
Right.
the wireless connection to the universe that most people have no concept of.
Right.
So I have to thank the NES Health company for an organization for bringing that to my attention. Because it was a very valuable, it was a very valuable thing to know.
Yeah. Well, I've always heard the comparison of a computer and our brain, our mind. It makes sense, though, that it's not just our mind, it's our whole body. But yeah.
They have cool terminologies for something else that they call EI, which for them is energetic integrators.
Oh. Okay.
And it's interesting that their EI11 is something that they title nervous system and colon. Together, nervous system and colon. And I was like, EI11, nervous system and colon. EI12 is heart and lung meridian. EI13 is mucous membranes and small intestine. EI14 is neurotransmitters. You hear a lot about neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters / heart meridian.
Oh.
I know. I went, whoa. Lymphatics and bladder meridian.
Well, that makes sense. To me, it makes sense.
Bone marrow and stomach meridian.
Interesting connection.
I know. Shock. So here's an interesting one. Shock / spleen meridian.
Okay, I can see that one maybe.
So I would, just because we were talking this strange language of communication,
yeah,
this non-handshake between the computer and Wi-Fi, I just went, well, there's energy integrators. Maybe they're little culprits here. But I wasn't getting that any of that is something to be brought forward.
Okay. Interesting.
But interesting to just sit with it.
Yeah. The awareness of it.
Yeah, the awareness of it. And I like the fact that I have it in this little charting table of content. So although I don't, and I've got lots of kind of wordings on helping to explain it, but just nice to kind of go, maybe that's all I need. Maybe that's all I need to know is an energy integrator. E13 is offline and needing some help. But I needed to, for some reason, I needed to specifically know that. I needed to know that was mucous membranes and small intestine.
Mm-hmm.
And that could link into parasites.
Ah, right. For sure.
So an interesting way to start our conversation, this idea of these big tech communication places, the frustration and upset that we have, the fact that you and I both have had these big communication issues go on that didn't get resolved in a day and didn't get resolved in 2 days.
Right.
And so I think it's kind of valuable
to
be able to look and go, okay, if I'm looking at this and I'm looking at a phone line or I'm looking at an internet system, is this applicable to me, to something going on in my body, to something going on in my body and aura? As I get the terminology when they finally find the problem.
Yeah. But isn't that always the case, though? Isn't there pretty much always a correlation between?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, it was interesting. One of my biggest problems in Bell was an outsourcing problem. Like, as I saw it, I was seeing their problem as an outsourcing problem, that they had literally taken a significant amount of their teams of people that were going to be helpful to you and me and anybody else on the phone lines that's having a problem. And they had literally all those teams are people that mostly exist in the Philippines. And so they were restructuring all of this stuff to get more and more stuff down to the people in the Philippines, which they have the exact opposite schedule to us, which is an interesting piece. So as it's 3:00 in the morning for us here, or 3:00 in the afternoon, it's 3:00 in the morning for them.
Right.
So they are working in the middle of the night to sort out our problems.
Right.
And apparently there are not a lot of people on the Canadian soil that are here to help to sort anything for us now. It's, so it's a outsourcing to the Philippines, which means, it's part of my job, like part of something going on for me, something that I outsourced, unknowingly outsourced, that, isn't necessarily working for me. And it needs to be disengaged with.
Oh, that's powerful.
Well, yes, but it's a kind of exactly one of the things that was happening for you.
Right.
It's like you at some point outsourced at some point when I can't deal with this. I can't deal with, I'm not strong enough. I don't, I've lost the trust. I've lost the faith. And that's actually an interesting piece because that connects to thymus. And it was interesting when I was walking my husband through something that I just kept getting, go and tap his thymus. Teach him about this and get him to tap his thymus. And I saw his coughing, his dry coughing and his yawning start to become less and less.
Oh, interesting.
So the affirmations, according to John Diamond, for thymus, I have love, I have faith, I have gratitude, I have courage, I have love, my life energy is high. So then if you think about that time, that change of apartment time, were you having a faith crisis? Having a trust crisis? Were you having a crisis of, the universe doesn't love me? God doesn't love, were you having a love crisis? Were you having a gratitude crisis? Were you having a courage crisis? Were you having a diminishment of life energy crisis?
Yes.
And probably at least faith and trust.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It was I do not recommend I do not recommend having to move in your 60s, going from everything had changed. Which is the whole environment of renting changed. It was very strange.
Right.
Being invasive, wanting to know not only what your taxes were, but like your investments. And I just was so eye-opening and so shocking, that and the places just weren't anything that until I found this place, I was pretty, And then I felt like I was getting pressured from my landlady at the place because her son was going to be moving shortly. And she goes, you do have to move out by the end of September. And I was, yeah, I know that. But this is like, we're in May. Can you give me a little bit of time? Right? Like it was like a perfect storm of just all of these things kind of feeling like, oh, yeah. And then I didn't understand, or most of my friends like, how did you get this place? You were not in the space. It's like, trust me. I know. It's like, sometimes I think it's just destiny, but I was not thinking that at the time.
Well, I know, like, I don't know if it's going to be easy for me. We don't have like a long thread together. I don't know if it's going to be easy for me to get, because it was pretty cool, the text that you sent me.
Right?
Oh yeah. Can I read it on air?
Sure.
So this is the text that you sent me. So apparently, even if you lose hope, are frustrated and angry, keep looking and seeing places you don't want, the universe still offers the absolute best place possible, everything included, a mostly green house, air conditioning, reverse osmosis water, high-speed Wi-Fi, a sweet outdoor space, great landlords, and a move to beachfront property just down the street. Magic is real, and you don't have to believe it happens when it's supposed to.
And I think that's it, because I'm always trying to control everything, and you can't. Like, there's literally nothing that happens that you actually get to control. The whole law of attraction, I get that it feels much better when you're positive. Like, it really does. It feels so much better when you're in a positive space. But it's me always trying to control things. And nothing that I've ever gotten is because I controlled it to happen. Right?
Yeah,
Nothing.
And maybe you had to be taken offline.
Right. To get there. Right. That makes even more sense. It's like the universe, I got stop it now. If we're going to get this for you, you got to be offline because you are just holding everything back. Wow. That's powerful.
I know.
Wow.
I know, because you were a little surprised when I said source driver, and you're like, source driver? Like, what are you talking about, source driver?
Right. Yeah, I was very surprised when you said that. But once I sat with it, and it's like, and I saw, I didn't really see, but I felt the path, although it showed me something. It was more of a feeling that that's how my intuition sort of works. It's symbolic. So the symbol of it kind of overlapping and doing weird, weedy things, that's like, oh, so I created my own pathway, but it wasn't a pure pathway. It wasn't a direct pathway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well, something created it with you.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was very, I'm very happy we could do this. I didn't know that we were going to
go here,
find a way to this.
And it's like this one, it was like, Tracy's going to ask me what I've been going through this month. It's like, other than the communication thing, I mean, everything's now solved. It's sorted. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't, and there you pick up like the best thing to work on. So, yeah.
Now, it is interesting because when you actually read a little bit about source driver, it's not really what you're thinking or that I was thinking.
Oh.
Source is the basic resource for all our energy. It's the vital essence that gives life. Source is formed from the virtual paramagnetic confetti contained within the cavities of the body. Source is the catalyst for all chemical and energetic reactions in the body. Without it, nothing can happen. Source is accumulated in the cavities of the body. Source energy is depleted by chronic illness, physical, mental exhaustion, breathing, toxic exposure, stress, and malnutrition. Damage from bacteria, viruses, and funguses can deplete source energy. It is the master energy driver, or the driver of the driver, since it directly energizes all other drivers. It should be given priority attention.
Whoa. You're right. That was not where I was going with it either.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Aids the body in replenishing its source energy, provides the impetus for healing and to connect and correct body functioning. Useful in relieving fatigue from detox and healing reactions associated with the formation of, this is very, I can't read it. That last sentence, I can't even read it. So light in the copying, I can't read it.
Huh.
Anyway, but fascinating.
Really fascinating. Wow.
So thank you to everything that participated in the move.
That's right. And the thing is, once I actually moved and I got here, it's like, I didn't realize how badly I needed to move. Right? Like it was like, whoa, I really, really put off moving for way too long because I just felt so stagnated. in the old place, even though I loved it, parts of it. I just,
Yeah. And I honestly, you can think about this, but I honestly think one of the reasons why you put it off for as long as you did is because you had that big, heavy table that you brought up there. And you were like, I don't even know how to get that down.
Well, that's true. That's definitely true. And I didn't bring it. So, yeah. It's so funny because I keep thinking about that silly table and I remember Kathy saying to me, like, Tracy was like, why are you bringing this table? I was like, to me, I just didn't think about it because I'd already moved it 8 times. I wasn't thinking about, I don't know. It never came into my mind that I wouldn't bring it. So yeah, like it was such a process to bring. And of course, my landlady doesn't remember it at all that it was a process, but it was like, no, it sat down there for quite a while before we were able to get it up. But it's like, the only thing difference is that when you're going up 3 flights of stairs outside, you're pushing and pulling. When it's going down 3 flights of stairs, it's just 100% down. Yeah. Gravity will, yeah. And trying to explain that to my landlady, she wasn't getting it until I said, you have to understand that if it slips in 30-degree weather, Celsius, it's not going to just hurt the person. It's 600 pounds falls on you going downstairs. It's going to kill you. So yeah, I kind of figured it out, but yeah, it was very interesting. The whole process was interesting because what they thought they were going to be doing was gutting the place. The families, their son, wife, and 5 kids actually moved in November 1st.
Into that little place.
Well, okay, it's the whole house.
Oh, the whole house.
You're going to have access to the little place because unless they've removed the tub, they're not going to be able to use the stairs to get there unless they go outside, and the kids are way too young for that. Anyway, what was supposed to happen never happened, which is very interesting. But I definitely needed to move.
Yeah. It is.
Even physically, I needed to move because how much longer was I going to be going up and down 3 flights of stairs?
Well, it is also an interesting piece here, this table.
Right.
And your attachment to the table.
I guess.
It traveled with you, it moved with you 6 times or 5 times or 8 times or whatever that is. But, the Buddhists do talk about attachment. They do talk about us getting attached to things, attached to articles, attached to people, just attached to ways that things operate. So you came down to heart. Maybe you get an answer for that. Just letting something pop into your head. Why were you so attached to that table?
Mm-hmm. It has something to do with my ex, I think. We bought it together as a wedding gift. And even though after the last time when we moved it to Winneba, he said, Laurie, this is the last time I'm moving this table. He says, if I leave, it stays. And he left and it stayed. Yeah, it has something to do with the connection there.
Mm-hmm. So if there's anything there, first of all, would you allow yourself to receive all divine knowings that could be received in for you around all of this? Would you just allow those to be received in?
Yes.
And I'm yawning.
It has something to do with the guilt I feel when I left him. So I was trying to hold on to something that was still part of our relationship.
And then would you a divine hug, like delivering a divine hug to you? Like, who am I? Who am I to counsel you about any of this, really? That you could just be with you. And maybe as these divine knowings come in, that's all that you need to walk with at this particular point in time. And then that can just allow for the guilt to just be diminished and released. And if not, then that divine hug comes in to be able to help to inform you.
Right.
Because maybe that's really just it. I was supposed to take him with me. I was supposed to walk with him. We're supposed to be together. Like whatever the dialogue was. Like when all that transpired that way, you kept taking the table.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But I would want your heart helped with this.
Mm. Yeah, because I still
consciousness helped with this.
Right.
Because, there can be old dialogue there. We're supposed to be together, supposed to last, whatever it is, whatever the dialogue is for you.
And it was more that I left. It was more that I left him. It was more that being somebody that was abandoned, leaving somebody that would never have left me, me making the choice that it would be better for both of us to have a pure love than somebody that's holding on to it because I knew that he would never leave, instead of, yeah. And hurting a man that was a beautiful man. Like, he never did anything wrong. He might not have been strong enough. He might not have, held his ground for something that was important to him, but he was a beautiful man. Still is.
Yeah. And maybe the divine knowings coming in for you now and all of how you dealt with that, it all echoes back to you and your own adoptedness.
Right. No, for sure it was.
What happens if that's the way your birth mother felt? That she wanted a pure love delivered to you.
Right. Something she couldn't do.
And that you created this same kind of experience with this man.
Right.
To help you to understand it. To be in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, that feels right.
To understand where your mom was.
I think it's also very strange that it was both you and Kathy that picked up that there was something with the table that it wasn't even in my radar. It's like Kathy said, well, why are you taking it? It's like, I don't know, it's just mine.
It didn't take an intuitive oracle to figure this out. It was a unbelievable weighted table that took an incredible amount of effort to get up those flights of fire escape stairs. It's like, you're insane. Why are you doing this insane thing?
And to me, yeah, I just didn't even until leaving, I didn't realize that it was an issue. And you know what? I still don't want to look to see if they've, they had to break it down to get it out of the house.
Right.
Right.
And a divine hug for you. It still doesn't want to look.
Right.
Because that would have maybe been the table that you had to abandon.
Right.
To have this better life. And to make this move.
Right. Well, that's very profound.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
And then can you forgive yourself for what you needed to abandon? For what you couldn't figure out how to take with you? And do that safely. And that you didn't want to kill anybody, trying to get that table down those fire escape stairs. And forgive yourself for not really thinking all of this through. Not just the getting it up, but the getting it down.
I'm just going to say 16 years I was a different person then. But
no, but can you forgive yourself for not thinking it all through?
Right.
Just wanting what you wanted and not thinking it all through.
Right. Yes.
And can you full body forgive yourself? For needing to leave that table behind. And for not thinking it fully through.
I can.
Awesome. So full body forgiveness is really what it is. It's just that the way I feel it is just this flow of forgiveness that just hits every cell, all of the places in aura. And it's just like this coming down, delivering all of that into the earth. That's the way I feel it. I've had other people that see it and they see it differently. They have their own feel, but they have their own connection to full body forgiveness.
Right.
It's well beyond my brain forgiving it. It's well beyond my heart forgiving it. It's like, no, I am cleansing this. I am clearing this. I am moving this out. All of the judgment, all of the blame, all of the guilt, the shame, the whatever, all of the belief system. I'm just cleansing and clearing it all out and sharing that all and delivering that all to the earth.
Yeah. Nice. Well, this was not where I thought the show was going to go.
Not where I thought it was going to go either.
But what a great way to go. Yeah. Whew. Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, so what's also neat about full body forgiveness in what little I've experienced of it is that you share all of this with the earth. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. This is what I did. This is how I did it. This is what I felt about it, blah, blah, just sharing it all. And the earth receives all of that.
Yes.
And then as all of that's received, then the earth, as that's completed, sends messaging back. And I'm really quite unclear as to what that is, but it's like there's a response. There's a response back from the earth that comes all the way into the body, all the way up through the head, all the way up into what I'm just going to call the heavens. Almost like there's you've been heard, you've been recognized, it's been received, it's been well received, and then this lovely, energetic response back.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because I'm quite unclear about it. Maybe it's just the earth then sending something back that says, I'm still with you. I'm still with you. We're still together. Maybe it's refortifying some things that were weakened by all the things that had been held and all the things that had been viewed a certain way. Maybe there's a rebooting, a revitalizing.
Yeah. Love it.
So as you're experiencing full body forgiveness. I was telling you how I was experiencing it. Do you experience it as a flow out? Do you experience, like, how do you see it? Like, you're a seeing person. So how do you see this?
No, I'm a feeling person.
Okay.
I get symbols, but they're always regarding feeling. So
Okay.
it is just literally what you said. It goes all the way down and out my feet. And then when we receive, it comes up and out.
And if you get any sense of what it is that you're receiving back, you know, clue me in. Like all I felt is that if there's a receiving back, it's like the earth is supporting something, the earth is revitalizing something. I really don't know.
It's almost felt to me like a gratitude, like thank you, like almost, yeah, thank you. We get to for them to receive it, then they get to clear it and all the energy, because most of the people are sitting inside of them instead of letting it out. And I think, to me, the earth is just saying thank you. We're grateful that you were able to let go so that we can transform it and transform others with it.
Okay, cool.
That's what I feel, but yeah. Well, great show, Tracy. A little bit long, but we're good.
Sorry about this.
No, well, I don't know if everybody wants to hear my healing journey, but it was powerful.
Good.
I think it helps others as well. So for sure. All right. Well, wow. Okay. We are not going to be getting together again until the new year. Can you believe that?
Okay. All right then.
Seriously, like January?
I know. Well, at least in January, the days are going to start to get longer.
There you go. The positive.
I am waiting.
All right.
I've been clapping on December the 22nd, just clapping like hallelujah.
Thank God. Yes.
I can't believe how dark it gets at night now. Just,
I know. So, all right. Well, you've been listening to the heart. We've been getting to the heart of what matters. Wow. Communication and our bodies. Wonderful. All right. Thank you, Tracy. Be back.
Talk to you.